Hello everyone, I just wanted to do a very quick vlog today just to give you an update on my YouTube channels and to thank you all for watching and to wish you all a happy Christmas. So it's actually December 19th today as I do this vlog, and I'm actually out doing a bit of Christmas shopping, listening to the music. Nice sunny blue day for a change. But anyway, I just wanted to thank everyone who is watching my current YouTube channel, this channel, and my other one, and those who follow my website, nightskyhunter.com, and of course social media. I just like to wish you all a very my phone falling down. I just like to wish you all a very happy Christmas and a healthy, positive, peaceful, exciting New Year. What I wanted to say basically about this channel was for those of you who follow this channel but don't follow my other channel, I've got new weather related content on there which you might be interested in. My other YouTube channel is called Storms of Northern Ireland. I'm going to link it below because sometimes it's hard to find. You actually have to do a search on YouTube to find it. It's called Storms of Northern Ireland, but the link is below. It's a relatively new channel, so there isn't a lot of subscribers yet. I'm not one of these YouTubers out pushing everyone to go on there and follow my new channel and all that there. I'm not interested in that kind of stuff. But it's for those who are interested in weather and storm content in Northern Ireland. And I've recently uploaded some new videos onto that channel, which I'm particularly happy with. For example, there about a couple of weeks ago we had a minor cold spell. Some Arctic air came down and generated some convection and our first snow showers and hill snow of the season. But we ended up getting, well, I ended up seeing the best snow curtain structure I've seen in years. By snow curtains I mean, you know, the precipitation falls from these cells as it moves along the ground. Normally you see rain or hail. Well, this was snow, so they're called snow curtains. These are precipitation curtains. It's this massive wall of precipitation of snow just moving along the countryside from outside Moneymore towards Cookstown, and it happened twice in the same afternoon. And the structure and the density of those snow curtains was really impressive stuff. In fact, one of those cells was a thunder snow cell that produced lightning earlier on further north. So those two cells with the snow curtains on that one day actually surpassed any of the snow curtains I've seen in previous winters, and some of the ones I've seen in the past were really good stuff. But this 2025 snow curtain beat 2010 severe winter easily, so that really impressed me. So even on a mild, uneventful winter like we're getting now, it just goes to show you interesting things can happen. So 2 videos, drone footage, are on my weather channel covering those snow events, also some of the hill snow we got around Moneyneeney and Mullaghmore in that direction of the Sperrins. Also, I've made a couple more thunderstorm related videos. I have a relaxation video just posted of one thunderstorm in particular. It was during the 2023 season when we had, well, my best storm chasing season so far. That's September, I think it was September 2nd, something like that. We had temperatures over 28 degrees Celsius, almost 30, very humid. And there's a chance of a few storms breaking out that late evening, a so-called cap break. And the whole day was very hot and humid, completely clear skies, not a cloud to be seen. Then literally around sunset in the distance, these towers began to erupt way over the southwest of Ireland, Northern Ireland, and they began to move northeast towards the Sperrins. And I was home at the time from Cookstown, and I seen them develop, and I knew something was kicking off big time. The cap had broken, and this there was a couple of towers, one in particular, the tallest one, just mushroomed out and turned into a full-blown thunderstorm. From my perspective, it looked to be about 20 miles away, way over the Sperrins, almost near the Foyle area, and it crossed southwest to northeast across the Sperrins towards the coast. But from Cookstown here, it was a magnificent sight. You can see the entire dark silhouetted storm just sitting over the Sperrins, and a perfect clear sky all around it. Nothing else but this thunderstorm. At dusk, literally after sunset, the sky's getting dark, still that sort of bright twilight of summer, and the storm was flickering with lightning inside. It was a beautiful storm. That's quite a rare sight to have a warm season, high cape, multi-cell thunderstorm sitting isolated on its own over the Sperrins, and actually have good visibility to see it, and actually happen at dusk, which is where they normally die out during the daytime when the sun goes down. This was actually dusk. Extremely rare sight. I'd never seen anything like it since I started chasing in 2007. Is that right? No, 2007 or a bit before. So I got the drone up and I filmed the whole thing, and I picked up various flashes of lightning. Intracloud lightning. It was mostly all intracloud. You'll see it flickering, and as the sky gets darker, it starts to stand out more. And if you pay particular attention, you may see 2 or 3 flashes at the same time as the bolt moves its way through the cloud. There's even cloud-to-air bolts. One clip in particular shows bolts erupting out of the updraft on the flanking area into the clear sky. I've never caught that before. So that was really, really cool storm. Even in that video clip, I counted 81 lightning flashes, and the actual storm itself had way more lightning than that, obscured from my perspective. You know, but it was a really fantastic late evening storm. So that video is a relaxation video. It's just relaxing music as real-time drone footage put together. It's about 15 minutes long, and it's meant to be relaxing and sleepy and for those like storms. So that's the other video. The second one is I've posted another storm video which I made last night. It's called the 2023 storm season, and it's a compilation video of all the storms I encountered that summer. Now 2023 was an exceptional year for thunderstorms across Ireland. It was my personal best storm chase season to date. We ended up going to Sligo about 3 or 4 times, intercepting storms there. We had many storms up the west coast, prolific day after day. There's many of them I couldn't even chase, but it was just like, there's maybe like nearly 2 weeks of storms every single day in the west coast and the southwest. Then they began to move across Northern Ireland, started getting them in the Sperrins and Fermanagh and all that kind of areas, and eventually up the north coast, and Antrim was getting them. But some of the most beautiful thunderstorms, the most powerful updrafts and photogenic storms I've seen were during that season, and all that footage is compiled onto this one clip, which is about 20 minutes long or so. So it took me about 2 days and nights to edit, so I'm quite happy with it. You'll see the thunderstorm over Port Glenowin. That was the one kind of like a low dark bluey looking storm. I've had time lapse coming in. That storm actually was really intense. Once it passed over us, it just went crazy with lightning, and even worse when it moved east into Antrim or Ballymena area. A lot of deadly close CGs. It was actually very dangerous, and it actually damaged houses in the Ballymena area. Chimney stacks and the structures of houses themselves were actually blowing holes in them from the positive lightning strikes. So really, really impressive storm. There were other storms in the Sperrins. One day I remember being surrounded by 5 storms at once, rumbling away all around me at the same time. That was fantastic. Another cool event was the Mullaghmore storms between Mullaghmore and Donegal. Beautiful storms, one trying to form a shelf cloud just sitting over the sea, rumbling away. Another day we had a mesoscale convective system, a 3000 Cape, strongest setup I've ever chased. That one just came up fast all the way up the country. Bit of a shelf on it, and it swamped us in heavy rain and lightning. Got the humidity that day was unreal. And another cool event is the Slemish. The day we went to Slemish and intercepted 2 thunderstorms. One were just a falling cloud. The second was a real beast, huge updrafts, and it was rumbling away, flashing away with intracloud lightning the whole time. But the structure of the updraft going right up overhead as the storm came near is massive. It was so beautiful, majestic. What a storm! But that storm dumped so much hail just from one core that the people had photographs up on Twitter showing their garden completely white. I mean, thick white, as if there was a layer of snow in the ground in winter time. And this was like July or something. Just thick with snow, but it was hailstones from this one storm dumping on the place. So that was a really, really cool storm, and had rotation in it and everything. And then my favourite storm of all was the County Antrim coast day, when I met a couple of friends and we went up to Bishop's Road there near Gortmore, and 2 storms in particular just erupted in the very late evening, lit up in full sunshine. Both of them were very photogenic, beautiful multi-cells with crisp, explosive updrafts. Absolutely beautiful. And they moved away from us. They were still a fair distance away. These were not close storms, but yet they were massive. And the second storm in particular was gigantic. It was a monster. This thing dominated the entire sky. Clear air all around it again, fully lit by sunshine. We could hear boom, boom, angry rumble constantly coming from it as it moved away in the distance. All the lightning was inside the clouds again. You could just see sort of like parts of it lighting up. But we'd seen 2 massive CGs, positive bolts, come right out from high up on the flank of the storm, right down into clear air into the ground as we watched. That was fantastic. That storm was really something. I managed to get a time lapsed, and I managed to get drone footage of it. You see all that on the video. It's the big white one, the one I obsess over. That you really had to have been there, though, to appreciate it, to appreciate its scale, its majesty, the power of the updrafts, the evolution of it. It was really something, and it's my favourite kind of scenario. I don't like sitting under rain filming lightning. I know other chasers do, that's a big thing if you're into bolts and stuff, but I like backed off. Excuse me. I like to see the whole storm structure, the entire thing in good light and be dry, so that I can enjoy the storm structure and observe it, look for funnels and do my photography. And that day just ticked all the boxes perfectly. Those two storms, two gorgeous multi-sails. I classify that big one as the best daylight storm I've ever seen in my life. But it's on there. So there's a whole bunch of stuff on there, a lot of good memories, so I hope you enjoy that video. And finally, I would just like to say I'm going to be uploading my end of year video very shortly as well. For anyone who's been following me on social media, my website, YouTube channel, this channel in particular, you will know I do this every single year. It's called my end of year video presentation. And what I do is put together all the video footage, time lapses, everything I have of all Sky events which happened during the year, and I put them all together into one long video so I can sort of look back on it and enjoy the memories, and it's a good overview of the year. And that means everything from night sky phenomena, the auroras, night sky time lapses down to thunderstorms, snow scenes in particular. Everything that I consider cool that happened during that year will be featured in the video. This video is called Tranquil Inferno. Bit of a weird name, isn't it? But there's a reason for that. First of all, the Inferno refers to the massive amount of wildfires that happened this year, which I documented. So the fire heat thing, Inferno, and Tranquil is really, again, the video is shot in a tranquil way. It's meant to be relaxing to watch, but also the year in general itself is kind of muted for Sky action, so Tranquil fits into that too. So that's why I chose the name. But just to address that, 2025. Hello Rhea, my dog's here wondering who I'm talking to. Go to sleep, pet. 2025. I'm going to put this window down because it's quite stuffy in here now. 2025 has unfortunately been the worst year I've ever seen for Sky action. I had some bad years before. 2008 was a tough year, but looking back on it, I had far more activity than this year did. The reason for the way that this year was so bad was twofold. First of all, we had a very poor storm season, so we hardly had any thunderstorms during the warm season of the year when you need them, and it was very disappointing. I think I maybe had 3 or 4 thunder days in total in the whole year. One of them was just way off in the distance, and I did have 2 closer thunder days which were better, and the rest of the year was cloud. Late summer almost just grey skies by day, grey skies by night. A lot of astronomical events were missed, unfortunately. A lot of auroras were missed. In fact, I've only seen one aurora, which was the big red one in November this year, the G4. It was the only aurora all year out of 365 days due to clouds, so it's been very poor that way. So that's very sad, and we just don't see much excitement even for the foreseeable future showing up for weather phenomena or anything. So I'm actually looking forward to a fresh start in 2026, to be honest. But having said that, I'm an optimist and positive person, and even on bad years, cool things happen, and there's been events which I've really enjoyed and found exciting. So it has definitely not been a damp squib by any means, 2025. In fact, well, first of all, I'll address the elephant in the room, which was the gorse fires, the wildfires. During our dry, hot period in spring, we had weeks of sunshine and dry weather, blue skies, warm conditions. That was really nice. But there also was an uptick in wildfires during that time. Most of them started deliberately, but there was a amount of them were across Ireland and Northern Ireland. When you add it all up, it was actually quite vast, and the fire service were out most days trying to put these things out. I managed to intercept 3 of them, but 2 in particular, the Ballygolly wildfire and the wildfire on Corrick Road near Lough Fay, were 2 massive fires, absolutely gigantic, multiple sources, smoke plumes going for miles across the sky, fire service battling away for hours trying to put them out, and one of them even lasted right into the night time as well. But I documented those with a drone. I got really good footage of those. They were very dramatic. So those kind of are the highlights of spring, really, even though they don't really count as a weather phenomena, but in a way they kind of do because of the dry weather. But they're very unusual, so I do tend to document them when they happen if I can find them. But so they're on there. They're kind of a major part of this year. The second part is the cold. During January we had a major Arctic spell for about nearly a week. Again, high pressure, multiple nights of freezing fog, and really deep low minimum temperatures, and as a result we ended up getting spectacular hoarfrost. It was visible in the Tyrone area at least for about 2 or 3 days in a row. I went out 2 days, but the second day in particular was really really amazing. No, sorry, it was one day. Met up with Paul Martin that morning. We were filming Chronicles of the Sperrins for the TV show that afternoon, but we went out at sunrise to do our own photography first around the Omagh area. The hoarfrost was incredible. It looked like a deep layer of snow was covering the whole countryside, but it was frost. This is special frost, really photogenic. You know, when you get up close to it, it coats all the tree branches and fences with thick frost, and it has a certain quality to it, like blades or long needles of ice, all compiled and one on top of the other, and it creates this layer of thick, complex frost which looks like snow at a casual glance. It coats everything and it's spectacular, and we had sunshine on it and blue skies, and we had the drones up. We documented that, so that was a very cool winter event, the hoarfrost of January. Then of course, we had the highlight for me for storm-wise was two events. The main one was that hot day in Sligo, Mayo, when Russian and Rua and I chased down that direction, and we got the biggest thunderstorm event of the entire year. Massive cape, massive shear, organised multi-sails with supercell traits. Warrens out galore. East Effects had a level 1 out as well for that area. We ended up watching this humongous multi-sail stretching all the way from way inland Ireland the whole way out over the Atlantic, one big row. I looked at the radar and it was at least 80 kilometres long, and that's just the radar print, not the actual clouds themselves. So absolutely gigantic storm, and we were, from our position at Ross's Point, we were I'd say we were at least 20 miles from it at one stage, and we seen the whole thing was dominating the sky. It was huge, going slowly across the sea and slowly towards us. It was flashing with lightning, intra-cloud lightning the whole time. There's no CGs. I didn't see any lightning striking from it downward at all intra-cloud. But from those under it, I seen people shared video footage with me on Facebook, and I was just like, tremendous monsoon rainfall, so loud you can hardly hear yourself, and constant thunder. There was no breaking at all. It was just constant the whole time. This thing was flickering with lightning for hours. This was a highly organised storm. From our perspective, again, in the dry, warm sunshine, we just watched it crossing the sea beside us. As we got closer, started to rumble. We could hear the rumbles in it. You could see some bolts penetrating through the updrafts. The thing was gigantic, and that was a real pleasure to see, and that made the chase worthwhile. So that was a highlight of the year for me, for storm chasing. The second highlight was Colin Webb and I chased in early autumn in September, a setup which I was very dubious about. I nearly didn't even go out. I ended up really enjoying myself. We had a sail near Slemish, which actually tapped into very strong deep layer shear and became what looked like a transient supercell storm. It had all the structure. It was a bit low topped. We didn't get any lightning from it, but there was lightning way behind us to the east. But this sail was leaning over, had a long updraft base. It was rotating for ages, and it actually had striation marks on it, the updraft downdraft separation, and at one stage it developed a very large close range wall cloud with a tiny tail cloud feeding into it, and the wall cloud was rotating. Really incredible. That's all in the video. Then as we go into autumn, of course we had the big Aurora in November, which was one of the Aurora highlights of the year. And then we also had Comet Lemon, naked eye comet with 10-degree naked eye tail, and some visual observations of other interesting comets too. And then we literally ended up with those snow curtains were the best I've seen in years. So that and a few other things like lunar eclipses, and I can't recall what else off hands on. There's a few other things. So that was kind of the highlights of the year. I really enjoyed those, so that was really cool. So in that respect, I hope you enjoy the video. I'll probably post it on YouTube and on my website on Boxing Day or the day after. Again, it's quite long, about 40 minutes long, so grab yourself a brew, a hot chocolate, a glass of wine, a glass of whiskey, or whatever it is you're into, and sit back and relax and let me know what you think. And before I go, I'd just like to say that end of year video will be posted on my channel here, the one you're watching, but I'll also be posting it on my storm channel. So what I wanted to say was, if you're interested in storms and weather, go to my other channel, Storms of Northern Ireland. I'll be updating plenty of content on there in the future, and it will be growing. All weather phenomena I film, we're going to be on that channel there, not this one. This one is different. So please subscribe to the other one to see all that content. But for this channel, it's going to be drones, ship chasing, landscape stuff. My astro stuff, of course, will be on there. Vlogs, everything else is on this channel, and it'll keep going as normal. So running the two channels. And of course, I'll keep my website updated whenever I can too, with all latest chase reports and photo shoots. I'm on too, nightskyhunter.com. My website is my pride and joy. I love that website. I've been running for a very long time. In fact, if social media just ended today, I would not be bothered in the slightest. As long as I could run my website and my YouTube channel, I'm happy enough. So that's what I like to focus my energy on. So anyway, please check them out, and again, I want to wish you a very happy Christmas. If you get a camera, brilliant. Please make the most of it and enjoy it. It's life-changing. Go out there and document the aurora, photograph the stars, go out and photograph the snow, document any cool storms around, enjoy nature, look up at the sky. It's extremely exciting, it's free, and it's life-changing. If you got a telescope for Christmas, excellent. Please get into astronomy, observe those galaxies and the planets, the cloud belts in Jupiter, Saturn's rings, the craters on the moon, any bright comets that come along. Go and observe them and enjoy them. Learn about the night sky and our place in the universe. It's very humbling and, again, life-changing. And perhaps you'll see some bigger auroras as well along the way and a few other surprises. Great hobby. I don't even like referring to it as a hobby. All this stuff, in my opinion, is a passion, all-consuming, life-changing passion, which is extremely positive influence. It has been for me my entire life. I've been doing this nearly 30 years now, and every day it's all I think about. It's all I'm trying to think of new phenomena to catch, and I've got a list of things I want to see. I enjoy being out observing, I enjoy doing photography, I enjoy flying the drone and applying all that stuff to the sky. I'm not really a landscape guy, even though you see a lot of landscapes in my footage and stuff. I'm not into that. I'm not a landscape photographer, I'm not a portrait photographer, I'm not a wedding photographer. I can't abide all that stuff, I'm sorry. There's nothing wrong with it. I actually watch a lot of videos of people who do that stuff, especially the landscapes, really interesting. But for me, it has to be the sky, what's going on in the sky. If I can get that over something on the land, I'm happy. So it's all about nature. So go out and do it. If you're into this sort of thing, don't hesitate for a second. Life is too short. Go out and enjoy it and have a good time, and nature will reward you with something special. So on that note, thanks for listening to me slabbering on here for quite a long time, and I wish you a happy Christmas and a successful new year full of abundance and prosperity and health and peace and wonders from nature. Thank you.